and we are going to start with the reading of the chapter. Yes, I hope my screen is visible, boys.
Yes, ma'am.
Evans tries an O level. So the tagline shows to us, written by Colin Dexter, should criminals in prison be given the opportunity of learning and education? So we are going to understand, means analyze whether it is right or not, whether in prison a criminal should be given the opportunity for education or not. So dramatis personae means dramatic characteristics which are used, the characters which are there in the play. I'm sorry. The secretary of the examination board, governor of HM prison Oxford, James Evans, the prisoner, Mr. Jackson, the prison officer, Mr. Stephens, also a prison officer, the Reverend S. McCleary, an invigilator, Mr. Carter, detective superintendent, Mr. Bell, detective chief inspector. So the opening scene is going to be there to make us know that Evans wants to learn German, right? So Chiransh, are you there? Hello.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, bacha. Please start reading after the dramatis personae. Are you there, Chiransh? I think there is some problem. Check it out. Mohit? Yes, Chiransh, you
Yes,
raised hand.
ma'am.
Chiransh, you raised hand to say something. Mohit?
Yes,
Please
ma'am.
start reading after dramatis personae.
It was in early March when the secretary of the examinations board received the call from an Oxford prison. It's it's a slightly unusual request, Governor, but I don't see why we should try to help. Just that one fellow, you say. That's it. Chap called Evans started night classes in O-level German last September. Says he says he's dead keen to get some sort of academic qualification. Is he any good? He was the only one in the class, so you can say he's had so you can say that so you can say he's had individual tuition all the time. Really? Would have the cost him a packet if he had been outside? Well, let's give him a chance, shall we? That's jolly kind of you. What exactly the procedure now? Oh, don't worry about that. I'll be sending you all the forms and stuff. What's his name? You say Evans. James Roderick Evans. It's under rather grand. Just one thing, Governor. Just one thing, Governor. He's not a violent sort of fellow, is he? I don't want to. I don't want to know his criminal record or anything like that. But no, there's no record of violence. Quite a pleasant sort of chap. They tell me. Bit of a card, really. One of the stars at the Christmas concert. Imitations, the sort of thing. Mike Warwood stuff. No, he's just a congenital klepto- kleptomaniac.
नहीं
That's all.
congenital kleptomaniac. Congenital
Conge-
हाँ congenital
Congenital
kleptomaniac.
kleptomaniac.
Yes, I'll explain it all. Continue reading.
Congenital kleptomaniac. That's all. The governor was tempted to add something else, but he thought, better of it. He'd look after that particular side of things himself. Presumably, said the secretary. You can arrange a room there. No problem. He's in a cell of his own. If you have no objections, he can sit the exam in there. And you could easily get one of the parsons from St. Mary's Max to invigilate if that's fine. Yes, they seem to have a lot of parsons there, don't they? The two men chuckled nat- naturedly, good naturedly, and the secretary had a final thought. At least there's one thing. You shouldn't have much trouble keeping him incommunicado. So, should you? The governor chuckled politely once more, reiterated his thanks, and slowly cadled the Evans, Evans, the break, as the prison officers called him. Thrice he had escaped from the prison, and but for the recent wave of unset unrest in the in the maximum security establishments up north, he wouldn't now be gracing the governor's premises in Oxford, and the governor was going to make absolutely certain that he wouldn't be disgracing them. Not that Evans was a real burden, persistent, nagging presence. He'd be all right in Oxford, though the governor would see to it personally. And besides, there was just a possibility that Evans was genuinely interested in O-level German. Just a slight possibility, just a very slight possibility. At 8:30 p.m. on Monday, 7 June, Evans' German teacher shook him by the hand in the heavily uh, guarded recreational block just across from D Wing. Guten Gluck, her romance. Pardon? I said, good luck. Good luck for tomorrow. Oh, thanks. I mean, Danke Stone. Do you have any cat in hell's chance of getting through? Of course, but I may surprise everybody, said Evans.
Okay,
At 8:30
Mohit,
the
stop.
following.
Mohit, stop.
Oh,
So let us
okay.
try to see what do we come to know about Evans. So we have come to know about the characters in the play. All precautions have been taken to see to it that O-level German examination arranged in the prison for Evans does not provide him with any means of escape. So we come to know that Evans is a kind of person who is easily able to escape the jail authorities all the time. So all the precautions have been kept in place so that he is not able to leave and he is able to give his O-level German examination that is going to be arranged in the prison. So it was in early March when the secretary of the examination board received the call from Oxford prison. So the secretary received the call from the prison people. It's a slight unusual request, governor, but I don't see why we shouldn't try to help. Just the one fellow, you say. So on receiving their call, the secretary said that it is slightly unusual request, governor, but I don't think that we can object. We should at least try to help because it is only about one fellow, as you said. As you informed, it is only about one fellow who is willing to give the exam. That's it. Chap called Evans. So now the name is informed that the boy's name is Evans. He started night classes in O-level German last September. Says he used to say that he was dead keen. He was very, very interested to get some sort of academic qualification. So now the secretary is asking, is he any good? Is he making any good? So he's informed that he was the only one in the class. So you can say had an individual tuition all the time, really. Would have cost him a packet if he had been outside. And the governor informs him that he was the only person who was getting the tuition, actually a personal, individual tuition. And it would have cost him a lot of money. Packet means a lot of money if he had got for this tuition outside the prison. Well, let's give him a chance, shall we? So now the secretary says, okay, if you're saying so, then let us give him a chance. That's jolly kind of you. What's exactly the procedure now? So now the governor confirms. Oh, that is so kind of you to think of him. Now please tell us the procedure. Oh, don't worry about that. I'll be sending you all the forms and stuff. So now the Secretary of Examination says, oh, you need not to worry about that. I'll be sending you all the forms, question paper stuff. And what was the name of the prisoner you said? Evans. So the complete name is James Roderick Evans. It sounded rather grand. The name was sounding to be very, very grand, lofty. Just one thing, Governor. He is not a violent sort of fellow, is he? Now the secretary is confirming. I wanted to confirm, Governor, he's not a violent sort of fellow, is he? Means the fellow, this man is not very violent by nature. Though I don't want to know his criminal record or anything like that, but I still want the safety of my people who would be coming for invigilation. No, there is no record of violence. Now the governor informs that there is no record of violence from his side. He is quite a happy kind of chap, man. They told me. Means I've come to know that he is a very happy-go-lucky kind of man. Bit of a card. Now card means that bit of an amusing person. Amusing means somebody who is able to keep others happy. One of the stars at Christmas concert. At the Christmas concert, he used to be very popular. Imitations. Imitation means he used to copy others. You know the sort of thing, Mike Yarwood stuff. So he was able to copy the popular characters and he was very popular during the Christmas concert. No, he's just a congenital kleptomaniac. His problem, why he is a prisoner here, because he is just a congenital. Congenital means somebody who is born with a particular illness. Congenital means somebody who is born with a particular illness. Kleptomaniac. Kleptomaniac, we call kleptomaniac to somebody who has a habit to steal. ना चाहते हुए उन्हें पता ही नहीं लगता कि वो कब चोरी कर लेते हैं. They are called kleptomaniac. So he is just suffering with the problem of stealing by birth. The governor was tempted to add. Now governor wanted to add something more, but he quietened himself. He thought that he should not be. He would look after that particular side of things himself. So he did not want to tell anything more about Evans because he was sure that the other matters with Evans, he would be able to handle all those things himself. Presumably, you can arrange a room where. Now the secretary asked for the requisition. That presumably means, this means you can arrange a room where he has nothing to steal, where he is only writing. So without letting him complete, the governor says, no problem. He is in a cell of his own. He is having his own prison. If you have no objection, he can set the exam in there. So he can give the exam in his own prison room only. We will not shift him anywhere else. That's fine. So now the secretary said, oh, that's fine. And we could easily get one of the parsons from St. Mary Mag's to invigilate. And we would be getting one of the parsons. Now, parson is somebody who is actually a priest kind of thing, or somebody who gives a sermon. So we will be getting one of the parsons from St. Mary Mag's, the church, to invigilate. If that is means again he is not allowed to complete, fine. Yes, they seem to have a lot of parsons there. There are a lot of parsons there in that place. So you can call anyone, no problem. The two men chuckled good-naturedly. Now the two men giggled, laughed good-naturedly, and the secretary had a final thought. Now the secretary finally said, at least there is one thing. You shouldn't have much trouble keeping him incommunicado. Incommunicado means without communicating with other people. Means at least make it possible for one thing only, that means you should not be having any trouble in making it possible that he should not be able to communicate with others. Would you be able to do that? Means during the exam, there should be nothing with him with which he could communicate with others. So would that be possible? So the governor chuckled politely once more, and he laughed politely once more, repeated his thanks, and slowly kept the phone down. Evans. So now he is calling Evans. In the meantime, we have been told what Evans was like. Evans the Break. He was known as Evans the Break. Why? Because the prison officers used to call him that way. His nickname was Evans the Break. Why? Because three times he had escaped from the prison. But for the recent wave of unrest in the maximum security establishment up north, and because of the recent wave of unrest in the maximum security zone of establishments in the north side, he wouldn't now be gracing the governor's premises in Oxford. So he was not allowed to be around the governor's living area in Oxford. And the governor also knew his habit, so he was going to make it sure that he would not be disgracing him. Disgracing him means he would not be making him guilty by running away from the prison for the fourth time. Not that Evans was a real burden, just a persistent nagging presence. It was not that Evans was any burden to the governor, but still a continuous disturbing presence was there of Evans, and all the time that fear that Evans would run away. He would be all right in Oxford, though. He was staying all right in the Oxford prison. Though the governor would see to it personally. And governor was going to make it sure with all the arrangements and provisions that he is not going to escape the prison on the verge of giving this exam. And besides, there was just a possibility that Evans was genuinely interested in O-level German. He was giving another thought. Means अब गवर्नर को दोनों डाउट है, कहीं इवांस ऐसा तो नहीं कर रहा कि एग्जाम देने और एग्जाम देने के चक्कर में वो भागने की तैयारी कर रहा. हो सकता है Evans would have been genuinely interested in O-level German, but it is very, very least possibility, just a very slight possibility. So now at 8:30 p.m. on Monday, 7 June, Evans' German teacher shook him by hand in the heavily guarded recreational block. So exam से एक दिन पहले, means on Monday, 7 June, Evans' German teacher shook him by hand to wish him luck, where he was sitting in a heavily guarded recreational block just in front of D Wing. Guten Glück, Herr Evans. So now he said something in German. And Evans said, pardon, I am not able to understand. So now the German teacher said the same thing in English. I said, good luck for tomorrow. So Evans replied, oh, thanks. I mean, Danke schön. Danke schön means thank you in German. You haven't a cat in hell's chance of getting through, of course, but now the teacher is saying, I know that you are not having even a slightest of chance to clear the exam, of course, but, and before he can complete, Evans completes the statement, but I can also surprise everyone by excelling in it. Now, the next day has approached, Tuesday, 8:30 a.m. in the morning, the exam is going to start. Now, this point onwards, you need to be very, very careful in reading of the plot because so many things are going to take place and the things may get confusing. Yes, Mohit.
मैम टीचिंग तो पूरी हुई नहीं, फिर एग्जाम कैसे दे सकते हैं मैम?
कौन कह रहा है टीचिंग पूरी नहीं हुई? He had started learning in the last September. Now he is giving the exam on 8th June. So he has completed the learning.
So मैम जो टीचर आया था उठाने के लिए वो फिर इन्विजिलेटर था?
नहीं नहीं, इन्विजिलेटर तो अभी आएगा ना, अब आएगा 8:30 पे, तो अब आएगा इन्विजिलेटर. अभी तो टीचर आया है, जर्मन टीचर ने उसको हाथ मिला के गुड लक कहा है बिफोर द डे ऑफ एग्जाम.
बट मैम अगर वो पढ़ रहा था तो फिर वो गुड लक को जर्मन में क्यों नहीं सुन पाया?
यही तो बात है ना. because he is not only studying, he is plotting for something else. यही तो आगे आपको सस्पेंस खुलेगा. All right. These all things are making us doubt that whether he was actually interested in learning German or something else. Right? That's why he is saying, जो उसने कहा है ना, I may surprise everybody. The surprise is awaited for us, and for this surprise we need to read till the end. That what is the surprise that Evans is going to give all his readers as well as the police people. Okay, Harshit. Harshit, are you there? Harshit, am I audible? Hello? Chiranch. Chiranch, are you there? Yes, Chiranch, you raised hand. Are you not able to unmute yourself, Chiranch? Mhm. I'm not able to hear you. Harshit, what happened to you?
Yes,
Yes, Bacha, read further. At 8:30 the following morning.
at 8:30 the following morning, Evans had a two visitor in fact. He tucked his groovy string vest into his equal groovy trousers and stood up from his bunk, smiling cheerfully. Morning, Mr. Jackson. This is indeed as honor. Jackson was a senior prison officer on D wing, and he and Evans had already become born enemies. At Jackson's side stood officers Stephen, the burly, surely looking man, only recently recruited to the profession. Jackson nodded curtly, and how our little Einstein this morning then was not a mathematician, Mr. Jackson. I think he was a Jew, Mr. Jackson. Evan's face was unshaven, and he wore filthy-looking red and white bobble hat upon his head. Give me a chance, Mr. Jackson. I was just going in to shake when you burst in, which reminds me Jackson turned his eyes on Stephens. Make sure you take his make sure make sure you take his razor out of the cell when he's finished scraping that ugly mug of his clear. One of these days he will do us all a favor and cut his bloody throat. For a few seconds, Evans looked thoughtfully at the man standing ramrod straight in front of him. A string of Second World War medals proudly paraded over his left breast pocket. Mr. Jackson, was it you who took my nail scissors away? Evans had always worried about his hands and their nail file too. Look, for a moment, Evans' eyes smoldered dangerously, but Jackson was ready for him and leave. His voice dropping to a harsh, contemptuous whisper, you want to complain. Ivan shrugged his shoulder lightly. The press was over. You have got half an hour to smarten yourself up. Ivan and take that bloody hat off. Me at oh. Evans put his right hand lovingly on top of Flitty Bolan and smiled sadly. Did you know Mr. Jackson? Do you know Mr. Jackson? It's the only thing that ever brought me any sort of luck in life. Kind of luck charm. If you know what I mean. And today I thought, well, with me exam and all that, buried somewhere in Jackson was a tiny core of compassion and advanced feeling. Just this once, then surely Temple. If there was one thing that Jackson genuinely loathed about Vance, it was his young behavior and get shaving. At 8:45 the same morning, Prevent Stuart McLeary left his bachelor flat in Broad Street and stepped out of briskly towards Calves. The weatherman reported temperature considerably below the normal for early June, and a long black overcoat and a shallow crowned clerical hat provided welcome protection from the drizzle which had set in half an hour earlier and which now spattered the thick lenses of his spectacles. In his right hand, he was carrying a small brown suitcase which contained all that he would need for his morning duties, including a sealed question paper envelope, a yellow invigilation form, a special authentication card from the examinations board, a paper knife, a Bible. He was to speak to the woman to the woman Will that afternoon on the Book of Truth and a current copy of the Church Times. The 2 hour examination was scheduled at 9:15 a.m. Evans was lathering his face vigorously when Stephen brought into two square tables and set them opposite each other in the narrow space between the bunk on the one side and one another a distempered stone wall. Next, Stephen brought into two hard chairs, the slightly less battered of which he placed in front of the table which stood near the cell door. Jackson put in a brief final appearance. Behave yourself, lady. Evans turned and nodded. And these, Jackson pointed to the pins of Evans' turn and nodded again. I was going to take him down anyway. A minister is naughty. The chap coming to sit in. I mean, and how did you know that? Asked Jackson quietly. Well, I had to sign forms, didn't I? And I couldn't help. Evans drew the razor carefully down his left cheek and left a neat swath in the white lather. Can I ask you something, Mr. Jackson? Why did they have to bug me in the cell? He nodded his head vaguely to a point above the door. Not a very neat job, conceded Jackson. They are not. They don't honestly think I'm going to try to. They are taking no chances. Advance. Nobody, in a sense, would take any chance with you. Who's going to listen in? I will tell you who's going to listen in. Laddie, Governor himself, see. He don't trust you a bloody inch, or nor do I. I will be watching you like hawk Evans, so keep your nose cleared. He walked towards the door. Evans nodded. He had already thought of that. And number two, handkerchief was lying ready on the bunk, a neatly folded square of white linen. Just one more thing, Einstein. Yeah, what's that? Good luck, old son. In the little lodge just inside the prison's main gates, the, the Reverend S. McClary signed his name neatly in the visitor's book. And then Benz walked side by side with a client prison officer across the exercise yard to do D-Wing, where was greeted by Jackson. The wing's heavy outer door was unlocked behind them. The heavy inner door, the same, McClary was handed into Stephen keeping. Get the razor. Muhammad Jackson. Stephen
Okay,
nodded.
Harshit, stop. Harshit, stop. So, boys, let us try to understand now what happened and how Evans is planning it all. Now, I want you to look at the particular things that he is being pointed out, and still he will be able to escape. Whether he actually escapes or not, let us see. At 8:30 the following morning, Evans had a visitor. In fact, two visitors. He tucked his grubby string vest into his equally grubby trouser. Grubby means dirty. So what did he do? He tucked his string vest into his trousers and stood up from his bunk. Bunk is called sleeping berth. आपने देखा जो कैदियों को जहाँ पे रखते हैं वहां पे एक बेंच सा बना होता है. That is called bunk. And he was smiling cheerfully. Morning, Mr. Jackson. This is indeed an honor that you have come today to meet me. Jackson was the senior prison officer on D wing. So Jackson was an officer. Do you remember dramatis personae में हमने पढ़ा था ना? And he and Evans had already become warm enemies because Evans had tried to, हमें पता था ना 3 बार he had already tried to escape. It was under Jackson's authority only that he was able to escape. So they had become very good enemies. At Jackson's side was standing another officer. His name was Stephens. He was a burly. Burly means sturdy, strong, surly looking. Surly looking means sad looking man. Only recently he was recruited at this post. Jackson nodded curtly. Curtly means very shortly. And how is our little Einstein this morning? Who is referred to as little Einstein? Who is called little Einstein? Boys. Who is called little Einstein here?
Jackson.
No. Evans. Einstein's quality was he was having a very good IQ. Here he is called Einstein because he is having criminal IQ very strongly. Right? His criminal mindset is very strong. Escaping mindset is very strong. That's why it's called little Einstein. So how's our little Einstein this morning then? Now Jackson is being questioned by Evans. Wasn't he a mathematician, Mr. Jackson? Why are you calling me so? He was a mathematician and I'm no mathematician. I think he was a Jew, Mr. Jackson. And he says, I think he was also a Jew. Ivan's face was unshaven. So when he was talking, Ivan's face was full of beard. And he was wearing a dirty looking red and white bobble hat. Now, what is a bobble hat? Bobble hat is a small, soft ball kind of hat upon his head. Give me a chance, Mr. Jackson. I was just going to shave when you busted. So give me some time, Mr. Jackson. I was just going to shave off my beard when you entered in my prison, my cell. So now, which reminds me, Jackson turned his eyes on Stephens. Now, with this, he makes an indication to Stephens. This reminds me that make sure you take his razor out of the cell when he has finished scrapping that ugly mug of his. Mug यहाँ पे किसको कहा है? That ugly face of his. So when he has done with the shaving, make sure now he is giving the direction to his assistant. Jackson is giving the direction to his assistant Stephens. That when he is done with the shaving, make sure that you are taking his razor away. Clear? One of these days, he will do us all favor and cut his bloody throat because he is such a criminal mind that he can even harm himself with a bloody, means he can kill himself by killing or by cutting his throat, and we will all again be in trouble. So let this razor not be with him after he has done his shaving. Now, when he talks about the razor, for a few seconds, Evans was looking thoughtfully as if he was thinking about something at the man standing ramrod straight. Ramrod straight means looking serious in front of him. A string of Second World War medals were hanging on his breast pocket, and they were proudly showing that how brave, how smart he was. So now Evans asked him, Mr. Jackson, was it you who took my nail scissors away? Who took my nail cutter away? Was it you? Evans had always worried about his hand. Evans was very particular, very possessive about his hands cleaning, and his nails were growing big. He was not able to cut his nails because the scissors, the nail cutter was not there with him. So he asked, did you take it away? And your nail file too. So Mr. Jackson added, not only that, I took your nail filer as well because you could harm yourself with them and we could be in trouble. So I did not leave any such sharp object with you. Look. For a moment, Ivan's eyes smoldered dangerously. Smoldered means they were angry, showing anger, extreme anger. Look, but Jackson was ready for him. But Jackson was ready for this kind of expression. He knew that Evans would be reacting this way only. Orders of the governor, Evans. Now he said, don't look at me like that. I am following the orders of the governor. He bent forward and leered. Leered means continued. His voice dropping to a harsh, contemptuous whisper. Now he was not talking normally. He was not talking in a whisper, but that was criticism, full of criticism. You want to complain? Now he wanted to ask, you are a criminal and are you going to make a complaint of me to somebody? Ivan shrugged his shoulders lightly. The crisis was over. Now Ivan was a criminal. He knew his limitations, so he shrugged his shoulders. Oh, it didn't matter. The crisis was over. The problem was over. What crisis was over, boys? What crisis was over?
The shaving bar.
नहीं, not the shaving thing. आप लोगों के साथ कभी हुआ है that you kept something somewhere and you are not able to locate it, तो आप लोग उतने देर तक परेशान रहते हो कि वो चीज कहाँ गई, मैंने पता नहीं कहाँ रख के भूल गया मैं.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that thing is called the crisis. So that problem was finally over. The things that he was looking for that were missing from his prison were actually taken by Jackson. You have got half an hour to smarten yourself up, Ivan. Now Jackson guides him, that warns him that you have just got half an hour to smarten yourself up and take that bloody hat off. And when you are finally dressed up, take your bloody hat off. Harshit, check your connection, Bacha, if I'm not audible. Am I audible now, Harshit? Harshit, am I audible? Please say. आवाज आ रही है? Mohit, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Harshit has written in the chat box that I'm not audible. Chiransh, I think Harshit has left.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I think there was some connection
Might
issue.
be
as
network
well.
issue.
Might be some network issue. Chiransh, we have network issue. I think because of the weather only this is taking place. Okay. Look for a moment and acha, we were on the point. You have got now he is warned that you take that hat off your head and you have got just half an hour to smarten yourself. Me? Hat? Oh, now is it? What are you talking about this hat? Oh, Ivan's put his right hand lovingly on the top of filthy woolen. Are you able to see the hat in the picture? So he put his hand on that filthy, dirty woolen hat and he smiled sadly. Now he was having some sad gesture on his face and he was smiling with a sadness. Do you know, Mr. Jackson? It is the only thing that has ever brought me any sort of luck in life. This is my lucky hat. And whatever luck has been there in my life, it is just because of this hat. It is a kind of lucky charm for me, if you know what I mean. And today I thought that because it is my exam and all that, so I thought I would be able to wear this hat for my exam. Now he knew, Evans knew it very well that Jackson was having a small area of compassion, love, care, concern. Evans knew it very well. So he explored that area. Then let me request, and this man would agree. And we will get to know that why he wore that hat actually. Just this once, then Shirley Temple. Now he said, okay, Mr. Actor, just this once, only this time. If there was one thing that Jackson genuinely loathed about Evans, loathed matlab hated. If there was one thing that Jackson actually hated about Evans, it was his long wavy hair. So he asked him, okay, get your shaving done quickly. At 8:45 the same morning, the Reverend Stuart McCleary left his bachelor flat. Now the exam time was going to come. So now see, हम कितने characters से मिल चुके? सबसे पहले हम secretary से मिले, सेक्रेटरी ऑफ गवर्निंग बॉडी ऑफ एग्जाम जो एग्जाम कंडक्ट कराते हैं. उसके बाद हम गवर्नर से मिले. गवर्नर वाज कंसर्न कि एग्जाम यही होगा और कैसे होगा. देन वी मेट इवांस. उसके बाद वी मेट जैक्सन जो प्रिजन का गार्ड है. देन स्टीफन वाज जैक्सन्स असिस्टेंट. अब हम किससे मिल रहे हैं? स्टुअर्ट मैक्लेरी, द इन्विजिलेटर. कौन है स्टुअर्ट मैक्लेरी? He is the invigilator. Yes, for the exam. जब तक आप लोगों को कैरेक्टर नहीं पता होंगे क्योंकि अभी सब कुछ मिक्सअप होने वाला है थोड़ी देर में, or maybe in the next class everything would be mixed up and then you will be confused. That's why it is very important for you to understand the characters, that which character is doing what. At 8:45 the same morning, the Reverend Stuart McCleary left his bachelor flat in Broad Street. So he left his home and stepped out fastly towards Carfax. The weatherman, means the weather forecast, had reported that the temperature is going to be below the normal for early June. This kind of temperature is generally not there. And due to this weather forecast, Stuart McCleary had worn a long black overcoat and a shallow crowned clerical hat. And he had also worn a hat. Shallow crown means जिसका crown जो था बहुत ही deep नहीं था. Clerical hat provided welcome protection from the steady drizzle. And why he wore this hat? Because it could protect him from the fast drizzling of rain, which had set in half an hour earlier, because the rain had started only half an hour earlier before he had planned to leave, and which now spattered the thick lenses of his spectacles. And due to this rain, the spattering, the raindrops had covered the thick lenses of his spectacles. So to protect himself from this drizzle, he had worn a hat. In his right hand, he was carrying a small brown suitcase, and this brown suitcase contained all that he needed for his morning duty as an invigilator. It included a sealed question paper. Just a minute. Yes, it included a sealed question paper envelope, a yellow invigilation form, a special authentication form, a special iCard kind of thing from the examination board to justify that he was the one who had been sent by the board, a paper knife, a Bible. He was to speak to the Women's Guild that afternoon on the Book of Ruth. Why he was carrying the Bible? Because he had to give a sermon to the Women Guild on the Book of Ruth in the afternoon, and a current copy of the newspaper, the Church Times. The 2-hour examination was scheduled to start at 9:15 a.m. So he was going to start with the exam at 9:15 a.m. Evans was lathering his face vigorously when Stephens brought in two small square tables. Lathering क्या होता है? आपने कभी देखा जब शेव करते हैं तो उस टाइम जो सोप के फोम बनाई जाती है, that is called lathering. So Evans was rubbing soap on his face vigorously, very strongly, when Stephens brought two tables, small square tables, and set them opposite to each other in a very small space between the berth, the sleeping berth on one side, and on the other, a distempered stone wall. So on the one side, there was a stone wall, and on the other side, the sleeping berth for the prisoner. In between these two, the two small square tables were kept. Next, after this, Stephens brought in two hard chairs, the slightly less battered. Now, battered means something like you can say that it was not so well polished. Its polish was not very good. So it was battered, less battered, of which he placed in front of the table, which stood near the cell door. So the one out of the two which was in a better condition was kept near the cell door. So this chair was for whom?
The invigilator.
Yes, this chair, the less battered chair, was for the invigilator. Jackson put in a brief final appearance. Now again, Jackson appeared. Behave yourself, laddie. Why? Who is asked to behave? Who is asked to behave properly?
Ma'am, ma'am, the Evans.
Evans. Why? Because he has a habit. He has already tried to escape the jail 3 times. So that's why he's been warned. Behave carefully. Behave yourself. Laddie means young boy. Evans turned and nodded. Evans looked at him and nodded, said yes by moving his neck. And these, Jack pointed to the pin-ups off. So the pin-ups, the pins that he had used for pinning up, he said, put them off. Evans turned and nodded again, and Evans said, yes, okay. I was going to take them down anyway. A minister, isn't he? He's very particular about it. The chap coming to sit in, means, is he a minister? Is the man a minister or of a post? The man who is coming to sit in here? And how did you know that? Asked Jackson quietly. How did you get an idea that he is a minister? Well, I had to sign some forms, didn't I? And I couldn't help. Now he said, I had to sign some forms. So during signing those forms, I read the name and designation. So I couldn't help it. I read it all. That somebody of a post is going to come to see me when I'm doing my exam. Evans drew the razor carefully down his left cheek and left a neat swath in the white lather. Now, what did he do? He drew his razor. आपने कभी देखा जब शेव कर रहे होते हैं तो उस टाइम पे जब वो रेजर चलाते हैं तो this way also he put the razor very carefully down his left cheek and left a neat swath. Swath means जो वो area जब clear हो जाता है उसको कहते हैं swath. Okay, so he left a large strip or area, cleaner area out of the white soap. Yes, Mohit.
मैम इस टाइम के दौरान तो इवान आके बैठ चुका होगा ना?
नहीं अभी नहीं बैठा. ही इज शेविंग. अभी वो शेव कर रहा है.
हाउ कम ही कम टू नो कि इन्विजिलेटर आ चुके और वो कौन है?
नहीं इन्विजिलेटर आ गया, उसे ये नहीं पता. उसे सिर्फ ये पता है, वो पूछ रहा है कि इन्विजिलेटर या जो भी मुझे देखने आ रहा है क्या वो कोई पोस्ट पे है. इज ही ऑफ एनी काइंड ऑफ पोस्ट, अ मिनिस्टर हैविंग एन इन्फ्लुएंशियल पोस्ट. तो जब उसने पहले जो फॉर्म साइन किए हैं, इन्विजिलेशन से पहले भी तो एनरोलमेंट के लिए फॉर्म होते हैं ना, तो उस पे उसने पढ़ा है. ही इज टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट. एग्जाम से पहले उसने फॉर्म साइन किए थे और उन फॉर्म्स के थ्रू से पता लगा कि somebody of a particular post of high post is going to come to him for the day of exam. Got it?
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Yes. Evans drew the razor carefully and he left a great area out of white lather. It was clean. Now he asked, can I ask you something, Mr. Jackson? Why did they have to bug me in this cell? Why am I kept in this cell like a bug? Am I caged here? He nodded his head vaguely to a point above the door. He nodded his point vaguely, not exactly to a point above the door. Means there is no ventilation, nothing. And why I have been kept here in such a dingy kind of cell? Not a very neat job, conceded Jackson. Now, Jackson said, yes, I can understand. It is not a very good place for you. They are not. They don't honestly think I'm going to try to. I think they are not sure of me. Do you still think that they are thinking about the same thing, that I'm going to try to escape once again? They are taking no chances, Evans. Now Jackson clarified that nobody is going to take any chance with you, Evans. Nobody is going to take, in his senses, means nobody in their mind is going to take any chances with you. Who is going to listen in? Means who is going to listen to me? Laddie? Acha, sorry, I forgot. Here he is talking about the audio thing. The camera is put there with an audio. जो वो ऊपर देख के कह रहा है ना, he nodded his head vaguely to a point above the door. He has seen the camera with that audio thing, that who is going to listen to me. And with that, he's asking that why this all has been put up here. And he says, nobody is going to take any chance with you. You are very clever. So to avoid your escape, all this has been planned. So now he asks that who is going to listen the conversation. Jackson says, I'll tell you who is going to listen the conversation, laddie. It is the governor himself, the in charge himself. See, he doesn't trust you a bloody inch. He doesn't trust you at all. And neither do I. I even don't trust you. I'll be watching you like a hawk, Evans. Hawk kaun hota hai? Who is a hawk?
Ma'am, it is a scavenger bird.
It is a scavenger bird. And if you have seen, when a scavenger bird sees a dead thing around, it is always in the verge or always in the search of some dead thing around so that it can attack it and devour it. So he was saying that I will watch you like a hawk. I'll keep my eye on you like a hawk, that the moment you will commit something wrong, I'm going to catch hold of you. Ivan, so keep your nose clean. Means so keep your base clean. Don't try to be smarter. Clear. Now he walked towards the door and Evans nodded. Evans said yes. He had already thought of that. He had already thought of all those things, that he's not going to be given any chance to escape. And number 2 handkerchief was lying ready on the bunk. And the other handkerchief with written number 2 was ready on the sleeping berth, a neatly folded square of off-white linen. It was a hanky neatly folded into a square, and the hanky was made of off-white linen cloth. Just one more thing, Einstein. Now again, Jackson is referring to Evans as Einstein. Just one more thing. Yeah, what's that? Good luck, old son. Now he said, best of luck for your exam. In the little lodge just inside the prison main gate, the Reverend S. McCleary signed his name neatly in the visitor's book. In the meantime, when this was going on, McCleary had entered the prison. So in the prison gate, he entered and he signed his name in the visitor book. And then he walked side by side with a silent prison officer across the exercise yard, and he reached the D wing, where he was welcomed by Jackson. The wing's heavy outer door was unlocked. Means इवांस वहां से भाग ना जाए, इसलिए उसे 3-3 तालों के दरवाजों में बंद किया गया था. तो सबसे पहले सबसे भारी वाला दरवाजा खोला गया एंड लॉक्ड बिहाइंड. देन उसके बाद इनर डोर खोला गया and McCleary was handed into Stephen's keeping. और उसके बाद स्टीफन के हाथों में मैकलेरी को सौंप दिया गया कि स्टीफन आगे उसे इवांस तक लेके जाएगा. गेट द रेजर, मोहम्मद जैक्सन. और जैक्सन ने उसे याद दिलाया स्टीफन को कि जब तुम इन्हें वहां छोड़ोगे तो इवांस से रेजर लेना मत भूलना. गेट द रेजर फ्रॉम हिम. Stephen nodded. Stephen said yes by nodding his head. Well, keep your eyes skinned clear. And he also advised Stephens, keep your eyes skinned. Skinned मतलब जैसे skin हमारी body के साथ चिपकी होती है. So keep your eyes glued to Evans. 1 मिनट के लिए भी उससे नजरें मत हटाना. Clear? Stephens nodded again. Stephen said yes again. And McCleary, his feet clanging up the iron stairs. And when he was climbing on the stairs, his feet was making a clanging sound. Clanging means वो जो टंग टंग की आवाज आती है ना, when you are moving on the iron surface, that kind of sound was coming up. A loud ringing sound followed his new guide. Now his new guide was Stephens, and finally stood up before a cell door. Now they were standing before a prison door, where Stephens opened the peephole and looked through. Now he opened the peephole of the door and he looked through. That's him, sir. And he pointed to Evans, that is the person of whom you have to take the exam. Evans, facing the door, sat quietly at the farther of the two tables. Now, Evans was facing the door and he was sitting quietly at the farther side, means at the farthermost side, at the far away side of the two table. His whole attention riveted to a textbook of elementary German grammar, and his whole attention was completely fixed on a book because he was revising elementary German grammar. Stephens took the key from its ring. स्टीफन उस सेल के बाहर ही उसका रिंग का केस था, तो उस रिंग में से उसने की निकाली एंड द सेल लॉक sprang back with a thudded metallic twang, and with a thudded metallic twang sound the lock was opened to show that how heavy the lock was of prison's cell, of Ivan's cell. Now it was 9:10 a.m. when the governor switched on the receiver. अब गवर्नर ने क्या किया, अपना रिसीवर ऑन कर लिया. किस चीज का रिसीवर ऑन कर लिया?
मैम द कैमरा एंड द माइक.
हाँ, जो कैमरा रूम में लगा हुआ था ना, प्रिजन में जो कैमरा लगा हुआ था, अब उसका उसने रिसीवर ऑन कर लिया, सो दैट ही इज एबल टू सी एंड लिसन टू व्हाटएवर इज गोइंग ऑन इन द सेल. यस, Chirag
Yes,
is
ma'am.
today coming again and again in the waiting room. Okay, boy, Mohit, beta, आप next class में याद रखना. We have to start from page number 76, top of the page. All right. It was 9:10 a.m. from
Okay.
this point because it is almost time. अगर मैं start भी करूंगी तो अभी नहीं होगा. And now the story is going to take a very crucial turn from here. Fine. Chiransh, are you there? Am I audible?
Okay, ma'am.
Well, Chiransh, no problem. I think there is some major connectivity issue. Yes, Chiransh, you raised hand. Chiransh, you raised hand. I think it is not possible for you to speak up. No problem. We'll talk about it in the next class. You may read the story. And if there is any doubt, please ask in the next class. Okay. So we will meet in the next class and we will continue with our story.